Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesdays in the Attic. Today is week 47. We have a double page spread, and I have quite a few photos from a trip to Duluth that we took in Minnesota. Duluth, Minnesota, not Georgia. And this collage, I think I'm going to cut apart and maybe make some flip books over on the smaller sides, because otherwise I've got two photos here, I've got this bigger one, and then I've got all these photos. So I might do like a flip book on each of the smaller parts to contain these two these smaller photos. So I haven't really decided how I'm going to do that or what I want to do yet, but that is the plan. I have this year I grabbed Scrap Room Fancy Pants Lake Life because we're on the lake all the time, and I thought this was perfect. We're on the giantest lake in Minnesota, Lake Superior, so I'm going to use that. So let's get started. So what I love about this sketch is it's relatively simple. It's just different widths of papers, and oh my god, oh sorry, sorry, I couldn't stop that sneeze and I couldn't pause. Anywho, what I love about this sketch is it's just different widths of paper kind of all layered up on each other. So I am taking, first I'm trimming down my photos. So the one that was already in the collage, I'm going to leave them all have a white border. And then I leave a white border on the photo of my boots on the rocks on the shore. But then I trimmed off the white border of the other ones, and I'm going to mat them on a different pattern paper. So I have the two cardstocks that came with the kit. It's not quite a white. I can't remember what the color is, but it's a basil, and it's like this, it's like dove. Is it dove gray maybe? It's like a dove. It's like, it's not quite white. It's not like a cream. It's just like a very, very, very pale gray. It's very pretty. So I've got that. The kits always come with two, so it worked perfect. And I like that this is cutting up papers. And so I end up cutting up I kind of cover up some of the papers. I probably didn't have to cut the strips that thick, but I'm fine with using up the paper. The little bit that would have not been used, it probably would have went in the trash anyway. Just tiny strips of paper. So I cut the one pattern paper that is the floral, and then it's the plaid. I cut 4 strips of 1.5 inches, and then I cut what was left was 6 inches, so I just cut that into 2 3s, and then I cut the Live Love Lake pattern paper with the script. That is just, I just cut it in half, 6 and 6, and then the wood grain I cut, I don't really remember. I think I cut 6 off, and then it might be 3 as well. That one I don't remember. And then I end up cutting them down to 10.5 inches long to get, so I have an edge on the page. So instead of like a flourish or a squirrel, I decided to do some stenciling. So I have the stencil, it's a Vicki Boutin stencil. I can't remember which collection it came with, but I'm putting faded jeans through it because I thought that blue was a good blue. And I just thought it was a neat, like kind of a wave look, kind of something to put on the edge instead of, they have nice flourishes, but just something to stick out the edges. And then I'm going to lay the strips of paper down and get my photos lined up. And that's pretty much it. So I've got that all done. I got the stenciling on both sides, and now, I'm doing that. And then after that, yeah, I was stenciling this. I kind of cut that out so you don't have to watch me line it up and glue, and because it's the same thing. I just line it up. And then I'm going to start placing down my photos where they belong, and I'm going to make my little flip outs. And I do it in the simplest way possible, which is what I highly recommend. It's easy, it works. Yeah. So I'm gluing, so there's 3 of the little square photos and only 2 of the longer ones. So I am gluing, and is there a spot for journaling on this sketch? Yeah, and I kind of, I don't put it there. So I glue the one down to the base, and then I'm going to glue, of the square ones, I glue 2 of them together. And then, oh yeah, I'm going to mat those other 2 photos on the blue paper. And then what I do for the flip out is then I just use some washi tape. So I go into my stash and I have, it's a rainbow washi tape. I want to say it's from like the Jen Hadfield collection this year, possibly. Might be. And it's just kind of, but the yellow is kind of perfect. It's kind of a mustardy yellow that goes with the yellow pops that are in this collection as well. So I'm going to use that, and I just washi tape down the edge, and then I washi tape on the inside so it's adhered to places. And then I'm going to add washi tape to the other pictures so that it just looks like it's supposed to be there. And then you have a little flip out. Before I add the washi tape and adhere the one on the left-hand page, though, I back it with a pattern paper. And that's where I'm actually going to put my journaling instead. So it's going to be kind of like hidden journaling. So then I'm just going through the little bit of ephemera and embellishments that I got. Like I said, this is a scrapbook kit, so you get a sampling. You don't get all of it. And I really love this kit. This is one that I wanted to go back and buy the rest of the collection, but I showed restraint and I didn't. See, if my husband's listening or watching, I didn't buy this one, and I wanted to. I showed restraint. Anyway, so I'm just doing some embellishments, and I decided I wanted to add the floral there on the right. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to use these little chipboard pieces or they're they're like raw. It's not chipboard. Oh my gosh, I always forget what it's called. It just leaves my brain. Maybe it is chipboard. Yeah, wood, because they're not wood veneer. It's like MDF. Anywho, so I end up using the little waves, and I like the Lake River Stream up on top instead of doing the banners that was in the sketch. And for some reason, my sketch disappeared, and the editing software didn't let me keep it up there. I don't know why. And so I like doing that instead of having the banners down. And then I add the little pond to the right-hand photo flip for the little flipper. And then as well as a couple of other little ephemera pieces, a little ladybug and a leaf. And then I'm going to stamp in the Faded Jeans also this half circle smile from this LA Studio Happiness and Cheer stamp set, I think is what it's called. And then I'm going to add enamel dots kind of throughout in the little areas. And then on my other flip out on the left-hand page, I'm going to do the florals, the couple florals that I have, and layer one under on the bottom photo and one over. And then I will go ahead and find a label in a little bit from LA Studio and put that on the inside, the back side of that top photo so that I can journal in there. I'm going to use the guitar because I don't know when else I'm going to use a guitar. And so I'm sure there's probably a random time, like in a week, I'll be like, oh, I could have used a guitar here, but that's fine. And I just journal about how Duluth kind of, the sounds are for my soul. And a part of me will always live in Duluth. We lived in Duluth. I lived in Duluth for 8 years. The first year was kind of off and on because of college. But then after that, I stayed there through college. I didn't move home or anything during the summer. And so I lived up there for 8 years. And it's still one of my favorite places. And then I'm going to go ahead and dig in my stash for a title. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wanted to do like the lake is happiness or something, or happiness is life, or this life happiness or something like that. I found these dark blue, they're Cocoa Vanilla Studio paper cardstock titles. So I put happiness in there, and then I have this chipboard, I think it's Patio Party is what they were, thickers, hashtag hello. So it's hashtag hello happiness, and it's in the wood grain, so it kind of goes. I just didn't really have a title that I was really dead set on. So, and I'm sorry, my light is fading. I wanted to hurry up and try and get this done because my light was fading. It only has an hour charge, and sometimes I squeak a little bit more out of it. But I never know when it's going to run out. So, the lighting's getting pretty bad. But a couple close-ups here coming up, and you can see the flip out. If you have any questions, let me know down below. But thank you so much for watching. Check in next Tuesday. We're almost done with this year. This is crazy. And yeah, thanks so much. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give a thumbs up. Like I said, if you have questions about any of the layout, let me know down below. I try to answer, or at least read all the comments. If I don't respond to them, I at least read them. But thank you again, and we'll see you next time.